Mm. Kiki, I cannot hear you.
Of course not. I was on mute. Thank you so much. Well, I was saying good morning, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday morning when we have another blessed opportunity for us to, by our own decision, be here uniting our hearts, for us to learn together, for us to grow together in such a beautiful way. And before I go to the announcements, I would like to see if I have a volunteer for doing the opening prayer.
I can do.
Go ahead. Thank you, sister.
Okay. Let's be in this moment with our heart full of joy, of happiness, and gratitude as we are gathering together as a spiritual family. We thank our Heavenly Father for this amazing opportunity to gathering us, to having us together in this beautiful sunny Sunday day. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, our higher self that is united with the Christ, we humbly, thankfully, we ask for divine guidance. We ask for divine illumination. We ask for the blessings of wisdom, of intelligence, so our soul may be open to learn the divine lessons that our beloved sister Regina have been used to share with us this beautiful message of divine growth. May her higher self and her spiritual mentor and the spiritual mentors of all of us together with the Christ, our Lord Jesus, and the spiritual mentors of our beautiful spiritual center be with her and share with us the blessings of our Heavenly Father here on earth. We thank you, Father. In your name, we are open this blessing service today. And so be it, and so it is.
So it is. And so it is. Thank you, sister. All right, everyone. So again, welcome to Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center. For those who are coming here for the very first time, we are a non-denominational organization, but we are part of the United States Spiritist Federation because we do study a lot. Hearing from Jesus and from the spirits on high, we learn that our spiritual awakening has two wings. One is the wing of knowledge, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we are here, is studying, discussing, and growing together. And then the other wing is love, is service, is charity. So for the second part, we also have a second part in this meeting, which is going to be a hands-on healing, where all of us will be vibrating with the mentors, including the mediums from BSH, that will be working together for us to receive all the blessings and everything that we need. It is very important that you actively listen to our speaker, because your mentor will already be working with you for you to download the messages that you need for you to reflect along the week. So stay in tune. We always suggest that you have a notepad and something for you to write down your reflections. I'm not going to put on the screen our agenda, but you can go to bshcenter.org.com and you will be able to see all the many opportunities that we have for us to be together. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of news and a couple of very, very important services. So everybody that we bring for vibration today, we will keep vibrating for this person tomorrow in a closed meeting for the mediums from 6:30 to 8:30 Pacific time. All the mediums get together, and we all vibrate for all of those who are in need. So if you are in need of physical or spiritual treatment, or you have someone that you love that is also in need, feel free to send us the full name by chat or by WhatsApp, however you want, and we will be happy to add your name or your beloved one's name in our list. If the person is not you, or even if it's you, we highly encourage that the person is aware and be open for the treatment. So then, the person and the spirituality will be working together, and this is how we can maximize the benefits that the person will be receiving. So we highly encourage you to let the person know. Monday, it's closed, but everybody can work on yourself at your home. You can read the gospel, you can do a prayer from 6:30 to 8:30 Pacific time. We also have fraternal counseling for all of those who are in need of sharing, discussing any specific topic, or even if you want us to pray with you, we are here for you. So let us know, then we can have a medium assigned to talk to you. Usually we do this on Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. But if you need any other time, just let us know. We just make sure that we'll have someone to speak with you. We also have daily prayers. So from Monday to Saturday, we get together 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we do a quick prayer. It usually takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes at most. And this is a beautiful way for you not to keep the vibration high for yourself, but also for others. We all know how in need the planet Earth is. So feel free to join us. It's in the same link, and we are here from Monday to Saturday, 6 p.m. And then on Sunday, we all meet in here. We also have a new class that I just would like to shout about it. It's an amazing class. I highly encourage all of you to check it out. Even if you are an advanced student in Spiritism, we are starting this coming Wednesday. We are starting the Inner Transformation class. So we all know that for us, and Emmanuel says that in the book Thought and Life, for us to create new habits, it's important that we detach from the old ones. So we know that this is a lifetime journey. We know how challenging it is, and we do not have to do that alone. So there is a very specific and incredible agenda for us to discuss. So it's going to be every Wednesday from 6:30 from 6:30 to 7:30 Pacific time. And we will have the blessings of having Gina and Sonia participating, and I will participate on that class as well. And then all the other days, we also have opportunities for us to be together. So we are always together for us to read books. So on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, we have meetings at Divine Light that we are also reading amazing books. So as I mentioned to you, I'm not going to share the agenda, but please check it out at bshcenter.org, and you will be able to have everything in there. All right, so I saw that I received a name on the chat. Kelsey, I'll be working on those. Don't worry, my sister. So let me introduce you to Regina, for those who still don't know her, our beloved sister, that today will be talking to us about blessed are the pure in spirit. So just 1 second, let me just get Gina's bio here.
Talking about divine growth.
Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you, sister.
I could go through all that bio stuff. I'm good.
Are you sure? There are so many new people here.
Oh,
Gina is okay, so I'm gonna do a quick one. Gina is an amazing sister. She's the president of Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center, and she will be taking us to this beautiful speech. Sister, please go ahead. We love you so much.
I'm nervous enough. I don't want to hear all
Don't
that.
be.
Good morning, everybody. So divine growth, this is a space in which I see each and every one of us are on this journey, this lifetime. And hopefully we all are pleased with our journey at the end. So here we go. The source of all love is God. And I feel a divine presence in every tender word and kind action from another brother and sister. And I know you guys all have felt this love when you speak to some people, they just ooze love even from their words, you know, it's a wonderful feeling. And we can see and feel the vibration often from loving people. So the divine plan is for us to keep moving forward. We have a choice, we have free will, and it's up to us to move, to propel ourselves forward. You know, when you get that deja vu feeling, I've been here before, or done this before, or this looks familiar to me. You know, it's kind of like this picture here. If we don't move forward, if we don't teach ourselves and learn, this is what happens. We do the same thing over and over. We have to come back and repeat this life. And we don't know if we're going to be in as good as health as we are in now, because God has given us this blessed opportunity to learn from. So we must learn and practice moving forward. No, it's not easy, but you know, this is what we're here for. So the divine plan is for us to grow in virtue, to mature in divine justice, to live in divine truth, to blossom in divine wisdom, and ripen in divine love. For as long as you love God and you want to do what is right, we can make this work. Divine growth is for us to love God. Divine growth is for us to love ourselves and love others. We must follow the words of Jesus. We must abstain from violence and hurting each other. We should serve each other the best way we can. We should love each other the way we want love to come to us. Okay. And the divine plan is for us to grow in virtues. Virtues are many things: charity, courage, compassion, diligence, forgiveness, generosity, gratitude, honesty, kindness, and the list goes on. When I look at this list, I like to think about people who resonates with some of these words that have lived this lifetime. We have many, starting with Jesus and starting with all of those who have even created these books for us to learn from. Alan Kardec, Chico Xavier, all of them. There's so many. But in this lifetime, like forgiveness, who reminds me of this example of forgiveness? Nelson Mandela comes to my mind. Trust. When I think about the trust, I think about, Martin Luther King. He trusted in the dream that he had, that he could see on the other side what was coming, that he knew there was life after death. He knew he had a safe place to go to when something happened to his physical body. When I think of generosity, it reminds me of a lot of us that's here in this spiritual group. And particularly, it reminds me of Dr. Paulo and Tanya and her work. There is no judgment. It's just straight love. It's all about helping another human being move forward. It's so divine. And respect. We all are learning respect, how to accept each other, how to love each other. It's a wonderful place to be in at this time. there's enough for us, there's so many of these words for us to choose from, to practice, to home in on, and to make perfect. And that's the idea, to become perfect. We know it ain't gonna happen all in one time, one lifetime, but here's a good start. Pick your favorite one and go for it. In the divine plan is for us to mature in divine justice. God's plan is for us to share the bounty of the earth in a mature and divine way. Equal justice. Treating each other equally. The golden rule, love another as you do yourself. And this is, when we look at the beautiful planet that God has blessed us with, there's so much. There's so much here. The divine justice in respect to the resources that have been provided by God should be shared. The justice should apply to the human existence evenly. The resources from the earth, like our trees, our fruit trees, plants, the water, our minerals, the oil that comes from the earth, all of these things should be divided equally. And if there's a need for religion, it should be a religion of love. If there's a need for the public social system, it should be a system of justice. Social problems like war and conflict can be resolved through love. It's not puppy love, it's respect. It's not wishing anyone any harm, not in thought or in action. This is the love. It's not a love that you feel for your spouse or your children, but it's a divine love. The divine love is for us not to do anyone any harm under no circumstances, particularly in my heart. We just share our kindness and learn how to be patient and work with each other. And one way to reach divine love is to be a loving person. Be the love you want to see in another human being. That kind of love that makes you smile. A way for everyone to achieve divine justice would be for us to solve our social problems. These problems include social unrest, the treatment of our mentally ill, and putting a cap on being greedy, the greedy rich, since the lack of love shows there that we have work that needs to be done. We need to replace the absence of love by communicating and listening to each other with patience. And love helps resolve contradictions. It's God's will for us to have peace and love for each other. We've gotten better with treating people of color and disabled people and the vets better, but there's so much more to come. There's so much more for us to do. Moral people practice the law of justice. Love and charity leads to purity. Now, these people ask themselves if they have violated God's law. When will you act? You're not going to wait till you no longer have a body. Sometimes we wait too long. And here again, we have a choice. We have to decide the type of being we want to be. We have clues throughout our lives as to what's going on, what's good, what's bad, what's right, and what's wrong. We always have clues. In the divine plan is for us to live in divine truth. And again, here, you need to do your work. Seek out the truth. Truth is what makes love accessible and comprehensible. Truth offers resurrection. Truth is freedom. We earn our freedom. Again, that's what this is about, freedom. Until we educate ourselves, we will continue to keep coming back and reincarnating. With truthfulness, we will always gain. And with falsehood, we always lose. It is up to us individually to educate ourselves. It is up to us to gain the knowledge and seek out that truth we're looking for. I love this picture. Reading can seriously damage your ignorance. Love it. The divine plan helps us to mature in divine justice. We can learn to walk away from situations that cause us to lose our inner peace. We don't need judgments, arguing or speaking poorly of others, or even revenge. This is not something we need to seek. So being mature is learning to walk away from people and situations that threaten our peace. One time I asked my twin brother, did he watch the football? And he said no, because when I was playing football, I saw how they were controlling the game. Instead of it being a game of true sports and the best team winning, it became a lie. So he gave up on it. He chose not to do it. He was owning his respect. Recognizing where change is needed and doing something about what you see that needs to be changed. Keep in mind, God has created us and we are amazing creatures. We are able to feel. We have the ability to correct ourselves mentally and physically, change our disabled function that we feel. Our sadness, we're able to correct that. Our attitude, we can correct that. Our hate, we can correct that. How we love or don't love, we can correct that. Being happy or not being happy, we can correct that. Negative emotions can impede growth. Anger, when we were young and out of control, we were jealous. We even had self-hate. And some even felt violated for good reasons. Many things run through our minds, like how people see us or how we think about others. Jealousy. Well, most kids are jealous of how another family is ran. You know, the mother and father might be loving, or the child might have more than they have. They get jealous about these material things. Some kids only have one parent. Maybe some are even molested. There's a lot of things that happen that bring about these feelings and emotions and dysfunction as we grow. So we have to work on dismantling all these emotions and feelings that we might have even forgot about that had happened when we were young. And then moving to the next. We have to exercise. Okay, here's a good one here. When we were younger, how when we get a paycheck and we are all on top of the world. So we take our little money and we go out. Might get drunk, you might get high and tell secrets, or you might wake up in a strange bed. How often do we reflect back on our childhood and these experiences? How often do we think about how this has affected me as an adult? And to the day, do you watch how you spend your money? Are you managing it properly? there was a story that one of my friends had told me about her, uh, a father who had went out and got new tires for the car, and he didn't know what happened to the car because it wasn't running smooth. So he took the car back to the dealer, and the guy told him, he says, "Look, do you have a teenager?" And they say, "Yeah." "You let them drive the car?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, that's where you better go start, because your child tore up the tires on your car." So I felt sorry for that child. When striving to become better, we have to work to let go of the negative experiences and forgive. That's what this is all about, moving forward, learning how to forgive and let go. And letting go, it reminds me also of sometimes how some people see death. They can't let go. They don't know how. Again, we have to educate ourselves to learn how to let go. Having gratitude for our regrets have been our great teacher. There's a lot of growth in a lot of things that we have regretted that has happened. And we don't look at that, but it has helped propel us to move forward and become better, to not repeat what we went through, to help us move on. The process is never easy, nor does it ever feel really good, but it does help. Oops. So while moving forward, we may be impeded by our mistakes. To grow, we must become better human beings. Mistakes, of course, they do impact us. And we should not forget our mistakes. It's very important for us to study our mistakes. We have to be strong in the new vision that we have for ourselves. It's very, very important. Most of us have had a very clear look into what's right and what's wrong. The decision is ours, and it's always ours to make. And if we don't make the correct decision, or we're not learning from our mistakes, or we don't ask how to do something, where does that lead us? And if we don't change, we don't learn. Okay, all of us here today have decided to accept the will of God. God's will is for us to learn that none of us will escape suffering, trials, or tests. Oftentimes, we may not know what's a test. Well, your children test you. Your family tests you all the time. It's up to us to forgive them. It's up to us to correct our thoughts behind our family when they piss us off. There's a lot to learn from our families. Ultimately, there's no power in the world that can stop one from reaching divine growth unless one uses their free will to stagnate. We have this blessed opportunity to be here. Let us give thanks to God. Have you ever asked, what is your purpose? Or why am I here on this earth? Or what's beyond the sky? You have the right to feel safe and grow. And thank God, our Father, for not allowing anything or anyone the power to stop our divine right to grow closer to Him. to stand strong in the love that we have for Jesus and our Father. Discipline reminds me of Gandhi. And this guy was an amazing light to me. He showed so much courage, so much trust, his ethics, his principles, his dignity behind everything he has done. He was an amazing person. Absolutely amazing. It's imperative to renew our mental attitudes within the tasks we're called to perform, learning to trust in the divine power that directs us. What are you called to do? Some of the people here are amazing teachers, amazing speakers. I'm growing. I have to learn to do this. With the work we have ahead of us, it's important that we do not remain bitter, angry, or unhappy so that we can be helpful to others. Mature love is a reflection of the respect we have for others. Mature love does not contain envy, jealousy, or hate. We can become angry because of our lives' experiences, but remember, they're tests and trials. It's a true way of seeing your own growth. And when you see or know of someone going through these things, even yourself, just send love. Send love. That's so important, to be compassionate even with yourself. The spiritual beliefs, the belief in Spiritism aids our self-improvement. It hastens our advancement. It enables us to ascertain what we will be someday. It teaches us to bear our trials with patience and resignation. And it turns us away from doing things that might delay our future happiness. There's a young lady who's a therapist today, and she was raped when she was young. And she made it her life's mission to become a therapist to help those young people who have been raped or molested. One day she received a call from the prison. It was a prisoner who was a rapist and a murderer. And he reached out to her for help. She was perplexed. A rapist and a murderer, and this is what happened to her. She had to take a few days to think about it. She came out on top. She called the prisoner and said, okay, I'll help you. I think this is huge on both parts. The prisoner said he was a rapist even while he was in prison, but he no longer chose to be this prisoner, this type of person, and in prison in that type of vibration. I thought that was amazing. And it was amazing for her to accept him as a patient so that both of them can continue to grow. This was her test. This is her trial. And she did it. And it supports and guides her in her light and in the light of the Divine Father. It's an amazing story. I love it. The divine plan is for us to blossom in divine wisdom. Wisdom comes from applying Jesus's teachings, listening to the word of Christ, practicing charity, learning, patience. The therapist learned from her inner work how to beat anger, learning how to captivate your feelings, how to cultivate and how to learn. We all have it in front of us. What's in front of us is what we need to learn and things we need to get over, get past. In the divine plan is for us to ripen in divine love, cultivate our fields, pull the weeds of hatred, discomfort, anger, ingratitude. Those are weeds. Plant love and the teachings of Jesus Christ. Practice using our morals, understand the justice of expiation and the purpose for reincarnation. Every other day or so, something comes up, and it's up to us to stay watchful and be alert. The love and care that we all put into our growth, we have to stay vigilant. We have to stay watchful of it. We have to nurture it. We have to pay attention to our thoughts. Your reading, your studying, what is it that you constantly putting in your mind? Is it violent movies? Is it, because this is something that is in us, where, we all grow up on these different shows that point towards revenge all the time. That's like the goal of the movie is to get revenge. We have to watch those thoughts. We have to study and practice forgiveness. We have to practice prayers, of course. These are our tools. Meditation, presentation, these are our tools. The love and the words and deeds of Jesus have given us hope and inspiration. A lot of people, they don't want to hear about Jesus. They don't want to hear about God. Well, it's just like anybody else. You have to create the relationship between you and God and you and Jesus. That's your job. No one can give you that relationship. We know we must grow in God's love and evolve and change to elevate our hearts and minds and our soul. At the end of the day, we all must leave this planet. How we do it and where we're going, that's up to us. It's our job to find out, well, what happens once I can't open my eyes no more? When we're ready to grow, it will unfold in wondrous ways. We are given many opportunities to transform. A lot of times we don't like how it comes. Well, no, I don't want to do it that way. That ain't, but that might be the food you need to propel you forward. You may not like how it comes. Give it a chance. Be gentle and considerate to one another, because divine thoughts and feelings only grow where there is reverence, respect, and thoughtfulness. When you are approached by someone who is gentle, you can feel that love emanating from them. Spiritism instructs us to meditate. Well, not just Spiritism. A lot of books across the board say meditate. And to meditate on the teachings of Jesus. If you want to learn Jesus, meditate on him. That's one way. In meditation, energy is moving all the time. And the more you meditate, you're able to feel this vibration moving through your feet, up your legs, in your chakras, in your stomach, in your throat, in your head, and on your crown. You can feel the vibration moving. By means of prayer, we communicate through thoughts with the beings to whom the prayer is addressed. Its purpose may be a request, an acknowledgement, or gratification. One may pray for oneself, someone who is living, or someone who has passed away. Prayer is always good. It's a beautiful way to connect. In the divine plan is for us to ripen in divine love. Divine teaching is recognizable. It brings joy, peace, light, and every sublime inspiration. Indulge in others' life. Do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. Sometimes we have to do things that we may not want to. You might need to help someone and you don't want to go in their house because you don't like the way their house smells. Well, this is a good example of indulgence and being charitable without anger. Just be kind. All of us need something and someone all the time. And that's where we get our points, not here with God. But remember, remove the anger. In the divine plan is for us to know Jesus. In the divine plan is for us to trust in God's justice. In the divine plan is for us to forgive the past wrongs. In the divine plan is for us to blossom in divine wisdom and divine truth. In the divine plan is for us to love one another. To know Jesus, you have to build that relationship so it's not painful to you every time someone mentions Jesus to you. So in God, there are many moving parts. In our bodies, there are many moving parts. In our soul, there's many moving parts. In our mind, there's many moving parts. In the universe, it's moving. There's many parts in the universe constantly moving. And in the divine plan is for us to grow and mature in science, philosophy, and nature. God is forever moving and changing, just as we should. Keep moving, keep learning, keep changing. That's our job. Learning can damage ignorance. Love is always on the move. Always believe that love is coming. I don't care how desperate you are, how poorly you feel, how much pain you're in, believe that love is coming. Think about Jesus during your pain, your suffering, whatever it is. Always trust that God is there. Your guardian angel is there for you to talk to. You're never alone. None of us are. Thank you for listening, and that's it. That's my nose.
Sister, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I took so much notes.
What?
Yeah, of course. And I took so many pictures as well. If you can share the deck with us later, I think that would be awesome.
Yes, what? Sent it to you?
You can share, yeah. I think that one of the biggest things that I will keep reflecting along the week, well, I do have many to reflect, but the ones that I wanted to highlight is two pieces. One is how you were encouraging us to be in movement, that love is in movement. And this is so much related to the growth that you were saying. And this is our decision, right? Like you said, we have to decide the type of person that we want to be. So look back to our mistakes and let's learn with that. And as you said, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey, but that's why we are here, life after lifetime. So, and it's amazing to be learning with you all. So thank you, sister. That was beautiful.
It's always good to have good friends. They always say nice things.
You make me cry, Gina.
No.
You did. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful remind for our soul. Beautiful food for our soul. And always we need to be reminded that love is in movement, like Kiki was saying, that touch her, touch me too. And the only way to kill ignorance is to study. No, there's no other way. We must move in the love that God is, and we must get our discipline ongoing, educating ourselves. That is the only way that we will stop being ignorant and be better human being, be better son, be better daughter of God. I would not put anything there, and a lot to meditate, a lot to reflect, and a lot to practice. I appreciate your time that you spend with it, and I feel that things come from your soul all together. I really appreciate your dedication and your time, because you're putting a lot from your soul on that teachings. Thanks so very much. Thank you for your love.
Thanks.
Regina, I really appreciate the way that you have to humble yourself by always placing yourself like, well, I don't know much, but look what you presented here today. We appreciate that very much. There are 2 points that I really wanted to highlight because it impressed me very intensely. One was when you mentioned in the beginning that the divine journey, remember, we are all in it. We are all in this path of divine development towards the divine. So it's a journey that we all are part of it. Some of us less ahead than others, but we're all on a path. And the second thing that you mentioned that was a great reminder was to say that what's in front of us is what we need to learn. What's in front of us is what we need to learn. Anything, any trials, any challenges is our lesson. And the solution is not the outside, it's looking inside and continue to work in ourselves. So I really appreciate that reminder. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Regina, you continue to inspire everyone who gets a chance to watch you speak. Your fear, your stress, your lack of confidence, it's awesome. It's the real you, and it comes through so beautifully. You impact us so well because it's the real you. So appreciate and love you. Thank you for a great presentation. So many.
I'd hug you if you was here, Mark. Thank you. Such a mess. Okay, guys, that's enough. I'm full.
No, I got more. Thank you, Regina. Seeing you grow through vulnerability is so beautiful. When you were called upon to be the president, you did not want the role. You felt so vulnerable to be in that position, but you accepted it. And your stellar leadership has led us through a pandemic. So thank you. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. What I found so beautiful was the part you talked about the therapist and the convict. And it goes back to the previous chapter in the gospel that the chapter you covered follows about misfortune. And the therapist had the misfortunate experience of being raped. But rather than falling prey to that experience and drowning in that experience for the rest of her life, she chose to turn it into a positive to help others who have experienced the same thing. And the convict, who was on the opposite of the extreme, causing the pain, that she went through or others who she helped went through. 2, experienced affliction of understanding the affliction he caused others through the affliction of prison. And he changed, and he went to someone who probably he didn't rape her, but he went to one who who experienced the similar affliction that he caused others. And together they helped each other get through the misfortunate experience to grow, to create a divine virtue within each other. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone have any more comments or questions for Gina?
You better not, Kim.
Oh gosh. All right, everyone. So Gina, once more, sister, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful soul with all of us. I agree that we are all feeling more loved because you shared your heart with us. Thank you so much. God bless you always.
You want to give her a heart attack, Kiki?
Oh gosh. All right, so let us take 2 minutes break or 3 minutes break, and then we can start the second part, which is gonna be a hands-on healing. If you do not need a break, you can just stay here and hang for a while. But for those who need, just go grab your water, and we'll be here starting the second part. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.